Alright, I'm here with an updated look at my PS2 collection. It's been about 2 years, 2.5 years, almost, actually, I think it was February 8, 2018, so it's been almost 3 years now since I last took a look at this collection, and it's definitely grown. This is definitely the system that I find the most games for that I end up keeping. I really like this library. It's full of a lot of great games. It's full of a lot of classic games, but it just has such a big library in general that there's always something interesting to find, it feels like. I'm always finding bizarre games I've never seen before and just deciding, oh, that's cheap, I might as well keep it. But I'll jump into my collection. If I don't have something to, if I don't have something to say about every game, that's just because either I've probably not played it or I haven't really I haven't played it yet, or I haven't spent too much time with it. I do get a lot of games from garage sales for $1 or $2 each that I decide, oh, I'll keep this and maybe check it out later, and then, that's how the backlog builds up. But we'll jump into the collection now. We got here Dot Hack Infection, Part 1, and Dot Hack Part 2 Mutation. These are an RPG series. Not the most well-loved RPG series. I know they have they have their fans, but not exactly the most critically acclaimed RPG series. But they're not bad by any means. Interesting concept at the very least. Ape Escape 2. This one has always been weird to me because this was, for some reason, Sony didn't publish this over here. It was published by Ubisoft. I don't know why, but it's a sequel to Ape Escape. I don't really think it's quite as iconic as the PS1 one, but Atari Anthology. I always like having these anthologies on here. I don't collect Atari games anymore. I used to, but I don't collect like Atari stuff any longer. But if I ever want to play one of these 2600 games, in the rare chance I would want to play one, I can always go back, pick out one of these anthology collections I have, and give it a go. It's much more convenient than keeping an Atari hooked up at all times. It's making some dust here. I don't know what's up with that. I got this one when I was in Japan. I don't know if we got this released. This is Breath of Fire 5, I believe. Yeah, Breath of Fire 5. I really like this box art, actually. It's really cool, but I kind of just picked a bunch of random games up from Japan when I was there because they were just cheap and they looked cool. So I did not get a Japanese PS2, so I can't play them unless I get one or I mod one of my PS2s or something. But I plan to get one eventually. Bully. Kind of a bit of like the Forgotten Rockstar series. I feel like this really could have gone places if it wanted to. There's been rumored like forever, like almost a decade, that they're going to do a sequel, and it'd be interesting to see if they did. I don't know how well the media would respond to a game about bullying people, but I'd like to see it happen. I think that'd be interesting, and Rockstar has enough money to make 10,000 games that they just refuse not to because they keep milking Grand Theft Auto 5 for more money. But that's beside the point. Choro Q, it's a little racing game. With little mini cars. I like to collect games published by Atlas. Obviously, it's not made by them, but it was published by them. I don't know, just something interesting. Clock Tower 3. I got this for really cheap, and I actually found a copy of this game earlier this year. It's not the easiest game to come by. I don't know, I just wish we had more survival horror. I mean, we had so many survival horror franchises back in the day, and we just don't hardly have any now besides Resident Evil. It's kind of a shame. So I wish we had more quality survival horror. Contra Shattered Soldier. This copy's in kind of rough shape up top. Not a very good game, at least in my opinion. Better than the PS1 game at least, but yeah, not a great game in my opinion. The Adventures of Cookies and Cream. This is an interesting one. It's a cute little game. You have two people play on one controller and you can control the same character, or control two separate characters on the same controller, I should say. And it's just a fun little game. Interestingly enough, it was developed by From Software, so that's kind of interesting. This is truly the Dark Souls of games where you play with... I don't know where this joke is going. Some Crash games. This would come in a trilogy package, but I don't have the outer box. Nitro Kart, Tag Team Racing, and Twinsanity. Of these, I've only ever really spent any time with Twinsanity, and I know a lot of the Crash games aren't after the PS1 era aren't the most fondly remembered, but I think Twinsanity's not too bad. I like the weird acapella soundtrack. I thought it was pretty decent. I mean, I'm not an expert or anything, but I thought it wasn't too bad. We got here Dark Cloud and Dark Cloud 2. These are role-playing games from Level 5, who would go on to make like Ni no Kuni, Professor Layton, stuff like that. These are pretty good. These were published by Sony. Pretty cool games. You can get them on the PS4 if you want to do it that way. I don't know if these are expensive to get. I don't think they are. But definitely worth a check out. I think the PS2 isn't my favorite system for RPGs, but it has some noteworthy ones. I have not played this one yet. I don't know much about this one, to be honest. Dawn of Mana. Obviously one of the Mana games. I have not played this one. I don't know if this one's any good. So someone let me know in the comments. Got here another 3 games, a trilogy. I'll just put them like this. Devil May Cry 1, 2, and 3. Devil May Cry is classic. 2, everyone knows 2 is not good. I don't need to go over it. But 3 is really impressive. It's especially impressive for a character action game on the PS2. It's aged surprisingly well. The first one, not so much. But I think the third one is definitely aged surprisingly well, all things considered. Donald Duck Going Quackers. I got this one at a garage sale, and the only reason I kept it was that I have a friend who actually speedruns this game, so I kind of just kept it as a meme. What I played, it's kind of like a Crash Bandicoot clone. It wasn't actually too bad. It was a reasonably decent game, but you used to get some pretty all right, mascot platformers back in the day, like SpongeBob, Battle for Bikini Bottom and stuff like that. Used to get some pretty decent ones back in the day. It's kind of a dead genre at this point. Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King. This is one of the better Dragon Quests, I'd say. This one was actually developed by Level 5 too, if I'm not mistaken. So, obviously published by Square Enix, but they were the ones who developed it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But yeah, this is a classic. I don't think this is too expensive to get, so I definitely recommend it. You can also get they kind of did a half port, half remake of it on the 3DS if you want to play it portably or you want to get it there. Definitely an option. You got here Drakengard. I don't know. It's hard when you get 2 in one shot because then the glare kicks in. But hopefully you can be seen. Got Drakengard and Drakengard 2. These are actually, what we know now as like Nier is part of the Drakengard series in a weird way. I'm not completely sure of all the details. I'd like to go back and play through these games. I got these at a garage sale for $4 each. I haven't gotten them to it yet. I'd like to go back and play them though because I hear they're pretty interesting. But yeah, cool games to have in the collection. These are on the docket to one day go through. I would like to do that because I've heard at least interesting things. I don't know if I can say good things. Dynasty Warriors 4 Empires. It's Dynasty Warriors. I don't know what to say. Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future. Not a great game. I don't know, Echo the Dolphin. I like the idea of like underwater games, like the old Echo the Dolphin games, and then they got really weird with like aliens and stuff in Echo the Dolphin, if I recall. I liked like the idea of like a character who's completely underwater, who's a fish. I like that. I kind of like that setting. We don't see that enough, but this game's not that great. Ephemeral Fantasia. I just picked this up at a game store. It was pretty cheap, and I'd never seen it before. I don't know anything about this one. I have yet to touch it. It looks like an RPG. It's about all I can say, but I'd like to at least give it a shot and see what this is even about. I should do a video where I just play a bunch of random RPGs I've never heard of. Like this one, too. I picked this one up at a convention years ago because it was published by Atlas. I don't think this was developed by them, though. Eternal Poison. This has actually started to crawl up in price a little bit. So I guess I'm glad I got it, but I don't know. I thought something about the box art was cool, so I just decided to pick this up. Let me know if this one's any good. It kind of got mixed reviews when it came out. Flipnik, Ultimate Pinball. Published by Capcom. It's pinball. Final Fantasy X. That's going to fall. Final Fantasy X, and of course Final Fantasy X-2. Final Fantasy X-2 Final Fantasy X was my first Final Fantasy game I ever played, and I really like it. I think it's fun. I like the battle system a lot. I think it's one of the most engaging turn-based systems in RPGs. I think it's really, really cool. I never actually played 10 too. I started it up and I was like, I don't feel like this right now. But I think 10 is great. One of my favorite Final Fantasies for sure. I don't think that's the most popular opinion. This is probably going to be even more unpopular. Final Fantasy 12. I've tried, I think, probably 3 or 4 times to get into Final Fantasy 12, and I have not been able to do it. I don't know what it is, but I have not been able to get into Final Fantasy 12. I tried it on PS2 a couple times. I actually got the PS4 remake, and I tried getting into it there, and I just couldn't. I don't like the setting. I don't really like the kind of almost MMO battle system. Just not for me. I don't think I'm going to ever... I don't know if it's ever going to click with me. Fireblade. I'm not sure really why I kept this. I probably was in good shape. I don't know. Doesn't really interest me too much. The Getaway. This is kind of interesting. I believe this is Sony London developed this. And it was kind of like trying to be a GTA competitor in a way. It was a bit more cinematic, a bit more story-based. Kind of an interesting game. I think they planned on doing more with this series, and then it just got canned. But kind of an interesting relic, at least. Grandia 2. I've not heard great things about this. I believe I don't know if this was also on other systems, but I don't think I think the loading times are really bad on this. I don't remember if Grandia 2 released. Yeah, Grandia 2 was on Dreamcast. I think this version of it had some really bad loading times, if I recall. I've played around with the Dreamcast one, and it's a pretty cool game, but I've never played the PS2 version. Hard Hitters Tennis. I add this to the collection because it's published by Atlas. I don't know what else to say. Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life. Yeah, I say this whenever I get a Harvest Moon in the game in the collection. I mean, I like the series. I think it's fun. I think it's cute. I like a game like this, but if at this point, I'm not going to probably sit down and invest much time on a PS2 Harvest Moon. I'm more likely going to play Stardew Valley or something like that. IGPX, Immortal Grand Prix. I kept this one too because it looked cool. I'm kind of an idiot. I think I got this for like 75 cents. But this was an anime back in the day. They made a game of it. Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. This is all right, I guess, from what I remember. But I'm surprised they don't do more Indiana Jones games. Like, when's the last time we got? Like, it's been like what? They put out that one on the Wii. Besides the Lego games, they put out that one on the Wii, the Emperor's Grave or something. No, this is Emperor's Tomb. What was the one on the Wii? Staff of Kings, and that was okay as well. I'm surprised though they don't try to put out like a Tomb Raider style Indiana Jones game. Could be cool, I'd think, but that one's not bad. Jade Cocoon 2. Jade Cocoon's an interesting series. It was kind of like a monster collecting, kind of like a Pokemon type thing. Interesting series. I don't really have too much to say about it other than that. I mean, they're cool. I'm not crazy about them or anything, but, worth a shot. Worth taking a look at. Jak and Daxter here. I got a couple of Jak and Daxter games, so I'll put them all together to save time. I have the first Jak game, which is really the only Jak game that I really care about. I don't really think I don't know what happened to the lighting here. I don't really think Jak 2 or 3 are necessarily very interesting. I like the first one because it was just kind of like a classic style platformer. It kind of was like Banjo-Kazooie. That was a pretty cool one, but I tried 2, I tried 3, I didn't really care for them. And I thought I would have them in the collection, but I guess I don't. I have The Lost Frontier, which was like, wasn't this a PSP game or something? It wasn't Naughty Dog that developed, I don't think. And then Combat Racing, which Naughty Dog, you gotta develop an Uncharted racing game, please. It's what the fans want. And then go for the Last of Us racing game. It's what us fans want. It's what us fans desire. It's what we need. So please do it. Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2. This might offend some people. I don't really like the first Kingdom Hearts game. I think it's kind of bad. The second one's fun. It's good enough. It's good enough. I played through the third one actually, and I didn't care about the story, but I thought the gameplay was pretty fun. But I don't know. The first one I just don't think is really that great. I think the worlds are kind of weird, and the platforming's kind of bad. I don't really think it's necessarily is superb. Although I gotta say, I miss the old square, just a Square Soft logo for with Square Enix. King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match. There's something about these old SNK fighting games. They had just such good like pixel art and everything. So cool. Good stuff. Kinetica. This is, I don't remember what studio did this. Polyphony, maybe? Can't see on the thing. I think they're still around. One of Sony's racing teams. This is kind of a cool game. You know, kind of futuristic racer type game. Kind of cool, but I mean, it's worth a shot if you can get it for cheap, but I wouldn't, you know, search it out. This one I've not played. I've not heard good things of it. Legaia 2 Dual Saga. I got this at a Goodwill really cheap, and I've not heard good things about it, but I like RPGs. I might as well add it to the collection. One game that I don't really have too much good to say about, Mega Man X8. Nah, I'll pass on this one. You can miss me with that one. So I have actually the Metal Gear Solid trilogy package here. I also have a separate Snake Eater. Snake Eater's a classic. I mean, it's once again, I think it's really impressive for its time. I'm not huge on, it's not my favorite Metal Gear game. I kind of get annoyed by all the different mechanics. There's so many mechanics. You gotta feed Snake, and you gotta put on the different camouflage. It gets a little annoying, but it's so interesting and it's so revolutionary for its time. I think it's really fantastic. It's definitely a game ahead of its time. And yeah, I do have the whole trilogy package here with the PS1 copy, or the PS1 copy of Metal Gear Solid in the PS2 size case. My favorite Metal Gear Solid game has always been Metal Gear Solid 2. I just think for a game from 2001, it's incredible. The story, and go back and look at the story and some of the scenes from it, it really kind of predicted the modern day. There's a great like monologue at the end that really predicted kind of a lot of things going on. And this was a game from 2001. Fascinating stuff. I think Metal Gear Solid 2 is definitely the best Metal Gear Solid game. And it's just so fascinating to think that like this is a game that's almost 20 years old now, and I don't really think it's aged very much. It's kind of timeless, which is really cool. Myst 3 Exile. Haven't checked this one out that I remember, at least. Onimusha 2. That's the only Onimusha game I have. I'm surprised Capcom doesn't do more with this. So I think they put out like Onimusha 1 HD or something on the PS4 and Switch or whatever. But I'm surprised they don't do more with Onimusha. I think they're kind of tied up with licensing, using some actor's face for the games. But I feel like, you know, especially with like Ghost of Tsushima and stuff coming out, I feel like they could really come back. And Sekiro, I think that samurai games are starting to make a comeback. I think Capcom could definitely try something with Onimusha. Pac-Man Fever. I believe this is a party game. I just got this recently. I haven't tried it out. Yeah, it looks like a Mario Party clone. I'd kind of like to try it out. I really like Mario Party. I'd like to try out a weird spin-off with random Namco characters. I also got the Pac-Man World games. Pac-Man World 2, Pac-Man World 3, Pac-Man World Rally. I have not tried World Rally. At least I don't think so, maybe. But I remember playing Pac-Man World 2. It's a pretty fun platformer. Definitely, I think you can get these cheap. I would say give it a shot. If there's a kind of a lack of platformers in the modern era, it'd be cool to maybe go back and check out some older ones. That's definitely one, if you haven't tried it out, that's worth checking out. Persona 3 FES. I'm a massive Persona fan. I think it's the best JRPG series out there. And 3 FES, not my favorite. It has a lot of admirable parts to it. I think the music is pretty cool. I think the setting's pretty cool. It definitely has some parts that haven't aged as well. I think some of the mechanics are a bit tiresome. The dungeon is just kind of dull. I know there's been rumors of it getting like a remake over the past few years, and I'd love that. I think it'd be awesome. I don't think it's likely, but I think it'd be awesome if they did a remake, because it's definitely a game that has a great story and a lot of great aspects to it that's just kind of bogged down from some, you know, dated aspects to it as well. Highly recommended, though. Worth giving it a shot. I would say I've spent considerable time. I've beat it on PS3 or on PS2, Persona 3 FES, and I've spent considerable time with the Persona 3 Portable, and I think FES is a way better way to play it than Portable. But they both have their advantages and disadvantages. Phantom Brave. I played the Phantom Brave game on Wii. I tried that out. This is... I don't know if this is the same game. I don't think it is. I should try this one out at some point. Pinball Hall of Fame, the Williams Collection. I don't know. I always keep these pinball games. When am I ever going to play them? Who knows? But they're there. Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. Obviously, classic game. They showed that like remake of it that's coming out soon, and the faces look awful. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know how good that's going to be. This is another series I just can't believe they haven't done anything with. They can, churn out 8 million Assassin's Creed games over at Ubisoft and 10 million Far Cry games, but come on, do something else. Prince of Persia, Warrior Within. This was the one with like the Godsmack soundtrack, if I'm correct. Please tell me I'm correct. If I can get one thing right this whole video, tell me it's a Godsmack in Prince of Persia. I think it was. I think it's correct. Either way, I don't care. Got some Ratchet and Clank here. I've always liked Ratchet and Clank. I think it's a fun series. It's pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to the new one on the PS5. I think it looks really impressive. I think it looks like a good time. The one on the PS4, the remake of the first game, is really great. So yeah, these are fun series. Another kind of platforming classic that we didn't see for a while, but I'm glad Ratchet and Clank is back. I feel like during the PS3 era, they had just kind of were churning out some kind of whatever games. I know like Crack in Time was well liked, but a lot of the other ones not so much. Resident Evil 4, I mean, what is there to say about Resident Evil 4 that hasn't been said? It's a classic. Another game that holds up remarkably well. I mean, it's 15 years old now, and it's still fantastic. Yeah, I think Resident Evil 4 is just great. I'll always prefer the GameCube version and think of it as a GameCube game, even though it's on every system now. But it was also on PS2. Shinji Mikami is yet to cut off his head, like he said he would, but we're waiting for it. I'm not really waiting for that. Resident Evil Code Veronica X. This is just a port of Code Veronica from Dreamcast onto the PS2 so that game could actually make money. I'm kind of, the rumor is that they're jumping straight from 3 remake to 4 remake. And I would kind of want them to go back and remake this one first. I think this one probably could use a remake. I played it on Dreamcast, and I mean, it's a good game, but I feel like this one could use a remake. More than 4, at least. But we'll see. Risk, Global Domination. It is Risk on PS2. Robotech Battle Cry. It's a Robotech game on PS2. This is a cool one. Rogue Galaxy. This is a really unique, another level 5 game. Really unique RPG. Really cool stuff. I like the art style especially. This is another one that's on PS4 that they ported the PS2 version. But yeah, really cool like art style. Really cool game. Level 5 is awesome. I think they're going through some financial hardship right now. So hopefully they can make it through the long run. Because they're a great studio. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 7. I just got this one recently. I've never really dabbled with this series before. I don't think I would really like it. But I figured I'd keep it in the collection. I got it for like $1 or $2 at a garage sale. And I figured I'd keep it in the collection. Maybe give it a shot. Sega Genesis collection. I own so many different Sega Genesis collections. I think the most disappointing thing about them is that they always have the same exact games on every single one of them. For my money, I would say the PS3 Sega Genesis collection is probably the best one. It was also on 360, but I really liked the Genesis Mini. I think that's probably your best bet if you want to go back and play some classic Genesis games, which you should, because the Genesis is great. Shining Force Neo. I just got this one recently as well. And this game seems pretty cool. I've yet to give it a shot. I would like to. There are just so many games, so many games, so little time. Why can't I just quit everything I do and play video games all day? Shining Tears. I got this one in Japan as well. Once again, this was probably a few hundred yen, a few dollars. And I thought, oh, that looks cool. It says RPG on the back. I'm in. I'm not sure if... I would assume this is part of the Shining Force series. They're both Sega, and they're both Shining. I don't know. Definitely a collection here. of gems. These have skyrocketed in price recently. I don't know what is up with that. But Silent Hill 2, 3, 4, and Origins. So the interesting thing about me is that Silent Hill 2 is actually one of my top 10 favorite games of all time. I think it's excellent, and I have never played. I never went on to play Silent Hill 3. I don't know why. I've been kind of itching to play some kind of horror game. Now it's October, so maybe I'll jump into 3. I don't know. But Silent Hill 1 and 2 are fantastic. I'd like to get through Silent Hill 3 and Silent Hill 4. I don't know what the consensus on Origins is. I know it's kind of after. I know the consensus on 4 is kind of mixed. And then, that was like the last time people consider the series good. So I don't think Origins is probably too well liked. But if anyone has anything to say on that, leave it down below. But Silent Hill 2, I mean, if you haven't played Silent Hill 2, I don't know what's wrong with you. It's very good. Siren. This is another survival horror game from Studio Japan, I believe. Sony Studio Japan. I might be wrong on that one. This is... Actually, there was that rumor a while back, I don't know if I buy it, that Sony was going to license out the Silent Hill franchise and make a new one. And actually, they said that the team who worked on Siren was actually going to be the ones who developed it. I don't know if that's true or not. I would doubt it, but interesting enough. Rumor, at the very least. I'd like to check this one out as well. Like I said, we just don't get enough good survival horror, and that's a genre that I really appreciate. I think it's really awesome. Got here some Sly Cooper. This is another series. How have they not done any more with Sly Cooper than, they did the one on PS3, the 4th one. But how have they not done anything with Sly Cooper? It's such a fun series. The first game is just a fun, quick, easy, fun platform. Fun twice. I can say fun twice on that one. It's just a quick, easy platformer just to get through. I think these are just fun games. I don't really have much more to say. I like the kind of aesthetic and the art style, and the characters are fun. I don't know. Just good stuff. Good stuff all around. This is another game I got in Japan. I have no idea what it is, but I thought the artwork looked cool, and since I have like a monkey brain, it's Idea Factory. It might not be very good. Idea Factory is kind of low-tier RPG maker, but Spectral Force Chronicle. When I get a Japanese PS2, I'll give all these a chance. I don't know. Maybe I'll find a hidden gem somewhere. Sonic Riders. Is a Sonic racing game. I don't really necessarily think it's very good. I think that's my only Sonic game on PS2. Oh, that's weird. Space Channel 5 Special Edition. I think Space Channel 5 is great. I really like the one on Dreamcast. I think it's just fun. It's another one of those games, I want to just play something fun on the Dreamcast. I've beat it several times. You just sit down, you can beat it in like an hour and a half at the most, really about an hour. And it's just fun. It's just goofy. It's just weird. I kind of miss games like that. You're never going to get a game like this anymore at full price, at retail at least. And I don't know. I think it's just a good time all around. Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. I've said this 10 million times. The only Splinter Cell I've ever really put much time into is the original one. But I said it 10 million times in the video. How have we not had any more Splinter Cell? How? I don't get it. What is Ubisoft doing over there? They put Sam Fisher in 10 million things. Oh, we got 3 new mobile games. He's in them, but we're not going to make a new Splinter Cell. Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. This game's not very good. I'll just say it like it is. Spyro the Eternal Night. I never really spent too much time with these weird... they try to make Spyro a little bit more mature. It's kind of cringy. This is another one I thought was really cool. It is published by Atlas. I think it's developed by them as well. It definitely has that art style. Stella Deuce, I think it looks pretty cool. It looks like Ken Amada there. It looked grown up. But I don't know, I like these character designs. Definitely just reeks of like 2000s Atlas. So, seems pretty cool. Another one I'd like to try when I get a Japanese PS2. Got some Star Trek games. I don't know why, because I'm not really that into Star Trek. I thought it was funny that it was published by Bethesda. They used to publish all the Star Trek games. And now they're making, what's that game? Game that's never going to come out. Garfield. Star Trek Center Universe. This one was actually published by TDK. I think I got those at Goodwill for $1 each. I figured, why not? Star Wars Battlefront 2. This is an all-time classic. Remember playing this I had 2 different friends who had this game. One on PS2 and one on Xbox. I remember just playing it all the time. I had a GameCube, so I didn't get to play this game. This one's just an all-time classic. Just a lot of fun. Definitely far better than the new Battlefront games. And RIP to Pandemic, which EA bought and then just obliterated. So, Star Wars Bounty Hunter. Star Wars Jedi Starfighter. Once again, kind of Suikoden 4. I've never spent too much time with Suikoden as a series. I don't think Suikoden 4 is very well liked, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what's up with this case. I'll have to replace this case. It's not looking so hot. But cool to have in the collection. I got that for pretty cheap, I'm pretty sure. This is one I'd like to try out. I bought this actually with the intention of trying it out. I got it at a convention. The same booth at a convention that I got my copy of Eternal Poison. But I like a good tactics game. And we don't seem to get any high-quality tactics games anymore. But I saw they made a Suikoden Tactics. I don't know if this one's any good or not, but I'd like to give it a shot. I don't know. There's just too many games to play. Got this one for $1. Superman Shadow of Apocalypse. I don't know. I just thought it'd be funny because Superman 64 is bad. Super Monkey Ball Deluxe, not Super Mario. He's not on PS2. Super Monkey Ball is just another one of those series. It's just a fun, classic Sega arcade game. And I can't believe that we cannot get a new Super Monkey Ball game. Continuing on, I have the whole set with this, the drum and the drumsticks and the outer box and everything. Taiko Drum Master. This is a lot of fun. I believe this is the only official Taiko Drum Master game released in the West, and some good stuff. They of course had to put in some. It's not going to zoom. They had to put in some like Western music, I guess, because they didn't think anyone would like this. So we got the Jimmy Neutron theme by Bowling for Soup. I'm a believer. Hopefully that's the Smash Mouth one. The Dragon Ball Z theme. My Sharona. Love Shack. And, you know, us Americans just can't handle Japanese music in Japanese games. We have to have the Jimmy Neutron theme. Tales of Destiny 2. I got this one in Japan. Why is it not focusing? I'm a big fan of the Tales. I wouldn't say I'm a big fan. I'm a fan of the Tales series. I haven't really kept up with it as of late, but did we get Tales of Destiny 2 here? I don't think we did. Tales of Legendia. This one's a lot different than the other Tales games. It's not one of my, not one of my favorites. I dropped it pretty quickly. Tales of Rebirth. I don't know if we got this one either. I don't think we did. They all kind of blend together. They really all kind of blend together to me. But I got that one in Japan as well. Tetris Worlds. If you have a system, you probably have some kind of Tetris game for it. It's some kind of law. Time Crisis Zone. I don't have the gun for this, so I can't really play it. But I do like a good light gun game. So, but I don't have the, I believe Gun Con as they're called. Time Splitters 2. I'm not the hugest shooter guy, but this is obviously a classic first-person shooter. HQ Nordic has the Time Splitter license, so maybe we'll get something out of them. Lara Croft Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness. I never really could get into Tomb Raider until the new series, but I remember this one was pretty bad. Going into the last row of games. Sorry for the dust there. Transformers for PS2. I got this for $1. This one is memorable, at least. I'm not huge into Transformers. I think because the only exposure to Transformers I ever had was the Michael Bay movies, and those suck. But I think I've seen this game before, and it has some pretty cool art style, but this was just a Goodwill pickup for $1. You can't turn up something half decent for $1. Unlimited Saga. I don't even remember where I got this one. I have yet to check it out. But we are getting to the all-time best PS2 game now. So good that it's still, my copy is still sealed. I have not even played it. I just know it's so good. Larry Boy and the Bad Apple. I believe this is the only VeggieTales game ever made. And I have it here in my possession. Sealed nonetheless. Just sealed, you know? That's the stuff. Wild Arms 3. I'd like to play through Wild Arms 1. I know it's very well regarded. I have not got to Wild Arms 3. Just once again, I find these games, are you going to pass up a good RPG for a couple bucks? No, you're not. One day, maybe when I retire, I will play all the RPGs for PS2. If I don't have arthritis or something that makes me not be able to play games. Worms 3D, it's a Worms game. We all know Worms. We're getting to the end of the barrel here. Got some Xenosaga games here. These are pretty pricey. I got these for like dirt cheap on eBay about 7 years ago. Including this was in the bundle. This is the Best Buy exclusive holographic cover. So that's cool. People are going to probably hate me because I have these in my collection. I was never able to get into these. I like Xenoblade and stuff like that, but I don't know. Something about these games just I never got into. And I think these are kind of expensive now. They never were. That's the funny part. These used to be like the cheapest RPGs on like any platform. You used to get them just to, have an RPG to check out. But they used to be like, I don't know, 7 years ago, they used to be dirt cheap. I remember seeing like Xenosaga and Xenosaga 2 in my local game store for like $1 each. It was ridiculous. So I have no idea what happened. Another one of my favorite series. I started with Yakuza 3 on PS3. I did not start with these ones, but I went back and played the first one. I would not recommend playing this. I'd recommend playing Kiwami on PS4. It's just a remake of this game, and it's way better. This game is dubbed in English, and the dubs is horrible. I mean, it has like Mark Hamill in it, so you'd think it'd be good, but their dub is awful. It's just really, really bad. But I mean, it's a funny thing that you could tell that they dumped so much money into this game, and it just did not work out. It ended up working out in the end. Yakuza is like a huge, really, popular franchise for Sega now, but certainly didn't work out back then. I have Yakuza 2. This is sealed. Sega reprinted this like 2017. And this was an expensive game. I think they reprinted it and then put it out for like $40. So I just picked it up just to have it. Cool stuff. Getting down to the wire here. We have Zapper, One Wicked Cricket. I don't know. I like picking up platformers for dirt cheap. This one, yet to be seen if this is any good, but, we need more platformers, Start making platformers. They make like 300,000 battle royales that are all going to fail within the first week, or 300 million, hero shooters and arena shooters. You can make a new 3D platformer, please. Zone of the Enders is another Kojima series. I think everyone got this game because it has the Metal Gear Solid 2 demo on it, but it's cool. I like it. I mean, I don't think it's as good as Metal Gear or anything, or as memorable, but it's an interesting game. Then I got some bigger box games. I always put my bigger box games at the end, just because these are all obtained pretty cheap at a pawn shop, actually. I don't know what these go for now, but I got them for really cheap. I think there's a video on my channel. I don't know which one it is. This is Magna Carta Tears of Blood. This is actually a Korean-developed RPG, and it is pretty interesting. And I really like this outer box. The art is great. This was published by Atlas, too, which interests me. But this art is great. It's actually embossed. You can't really tell, but it's actually like a 3D embossed kind of thing. Really cool artwork. Interesting game. I don't know if it's expensive now, but I probably wouldn't rush out if it's really expensive, but you can get that for cheap. It's definitely cool to check out. You don't really see too many Korean developed games. I mean, now we have like, PUBG, I guess, but that's about it. Unless I'm missing something. Star Ocean Till the End of Time. This is another one I got. I wish they'd do more with Star Ocean. It's a cool series. I don't know, it just feels like the forgotten Square Enix series. And it's cool. I mean, not all the games are winners, but it's definitely interesting. And then Wild Arms 5, I've yet to play this one or anything, but I couldn't pass this up when I found it in a pawn shop for like $5, something like that. Crazy. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I know I don't have a lot to say about a lot of these games because a lot of them are just, I pick them up for $1 or $2 each, but hopefully this maybe gave you some insight into some games you might not know about, some games that might be interesting to you. So at the very least, hopefully that was helpful. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite PS2 games are, ones that I should be out on the lookout for. If there's any games that I have here that I didn't say anything about, or I didn't, talk too much about, or I said I haven't played, and they're good, if they're some kind of hidden gem, please let me know. But other than that, leave a like if you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter at Object Gaming. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do a lot of pickup videos. During the summer, I do garage sailing videos where I talk about what I picked up at the garage sales. Those are always fun. And, I do topic-related videos. If you have any ideas for topics, please leave them down in the comments below. But other than that, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.